Dan, where are Israelis and the Israeli government losing the information war?
I have to say that I'm not sure we're losing the information war. On the one hand, I do agree with you that there is a very big challenge. There are places where Israel is really challenged. We see it mostly in university campuses in certain countries. But when we look at the whole picture, we see that, for example, in America, American support for Israel is steadfast. We see that in poll after poll. We see that the common values between Israel and the United States make American support something which is mostly obvious for most Americans. And actually, when we see these white protests, and yes, they are white protests that are pro-Palestinians and often even violent, I think that most Americans and Europeans see these protests and they see the violence, they see the calls for genocide, they see all of these things, and they say, I don't want to be associated with that. I actually want to be associated with the democracy, not with the terror supporting protesters that are in our streets. And they're actually afraid of seeing this protest. So yes, I do agree with you that some of the optics make it look as if Israel is not winning the information war. But when we actually look at polls and we look at the steadfast support of Western countries for Israel up until today, 80 days after this war started, I'm actually pretty optimistic.
Dan, I love that. In the article also, we noticed that how the word hostage can't be found anywhere in this column. Families of hostages still in Gaza interrupted Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during the speech on Monday, calling for their immediate return. How do you respond to those who would point to this piece as evidence that the safe return of the remaining hostages isn't a priority for the Israeli government?
Since day one of this war, we've made it clear that we have two goals that we don't actually see as competing goals, but as complementing goals. One of the goals is to defeat Hamas. The other one is to return our hostages. We've shown in the past that when we put some military pressure on Hamas, then they're willing to come to the table and to discuss hostage releases. I have absolutely no criticism about the hostage families. They're obviously very frustrated after 80 days of waiting for their loved ones to come home. I mean, yesterday, America celebrated Christmas. Hanukkah was celebrated a few weeks ago in Israel. Kwanzaa is right now celebrated by many people. Think of these family times where people are coming together, but there's an empty seat at the table, someone that's not there because they're being held by a terrorist organization. So I understand the hostage families. I have absolutely no criticism of them. Prime Minister Netanyahu also doesn't have any criticism of them. We're doing our best. We understand their frustration, and we'll try to do even better.
And so many families still looking for answers. Dan, I have one more question for you before I let you go. One of your fellow Likud members says Israel needs to reoccupy and resettle the northern Gaza Strip. This would tie into what you were talking about re-educating Palestinians so that there is not this hatred of so many of the Jewish people. Would you support a policy that would encourage Israelis to live in Gaza for the first time in more than 15 years, despite that violating international law?
Listen, I have to be frank with you. First of all, I'm not sure it violates international law. There are different interpretations about that. I also don't think that there's any justification for saying that there's any piece of land in the whole world where Jews are not allowed to live. By the way, whether it's Jews, Arabs, or whatever group, African Americans, or whatever group it is, saying that there's a piece of land where these people are not allowed to live, I think is ridiculous and wrong. That being said, I also have to be frank with you. Official Israeli policy, as has been said by the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister, is that they do not want to go back into Gaza and in no way occupy Gaza. We will need to keep military control in order to make sure that Hamas doesn't reinvent itself and rearm as a group with a different name or whatever it is. But that will only be on a military level. On a civil level, then there will be complete autonomy for people living in Gaza.
Dan Illouz, thank you once again for joining us this morning.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.